want a suitcase this fucking big. And he, like, puts his arms all the way out. And the guy's like, George, we do not have that. It does not exist.
Why would that exist,
It's not a
George?
suitcase
That's
that exists,
stupid.
George. What would you even put in it? What would you even put in it? He's like, oh, jeez, I don't know. Hey! Ho, 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 ho.
Ho.
Merry Christmas. It's the Christmas... It's BadTakeDelete show. Welcome back, guys.
Saying ho 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 or something.
You better watch what you're saying right now. I did my best. No one could say otherwise. Welcome back to BadTakeDelete show, guys. It's me and Ryan.
Hey, it's JJ over there. If this is the first time you're watching this, that's JJ and I'm Ryan. Because hey, maybe this is someone's first video about us. And if it is,
that
you
would be
subscribe, even though we haven't done anything
yeah,
yet.
please.
And this episode, it's another Christmas episode because it's fucking December. We're talking about 2 movies.
Yeah.
What are they?
We're talking about our favorite Christmas movies.
Yeah.
We came together and we decided we'll both watch each other's favorite Christmas flick.
Yeah.
And tear it down for each other.
Yeah, just straight up murder it.
Just completely ruin it for each other. Just no scorched earth. Just no enjoyment.
There's
at
no
all.
perfect Christmas movie. Not even 8 Crazy Nights.
We said we wouldn't talk about that. We said we wouldn't talk about that anyway. Either way, let's just talk about your favorite film.
So my favorite film.
You filthy bastard.
Let me bring this up. It's not Home Alone, I'll tell you that.
Ah.
Though saying that to people on the street when they don't get the reference, it's very awkward because they think I'm calling them a filthy bastard.
Oh, I've been saying that before the movie.
Oh, you actually the one quoted it. They stole it from you.
Yeah, they did. They stole a lot from me.
Santa Claus is Coming to Town is a Rankin Bass production. However, I need to tell you this because I did some research. Well, This is known as the quote Rankin and Bass style. It was actually made by the Japanese company they contracted called Mom Productions. So the style that you love is not fucking Rankin and Bass. It's that company.
Damn.
And this is a part of the fucking cinematic universe of like 15 to 20 films. Have you seen most of them?
Yeah, no, I've seen a lot of their films. Those creepy fucking stop motion films.
Maybe we can do Christmas in July That could be fun, right?
In July?
In July.
Christmas in July, and we'll do that in July.
So the plot of this is basically like, hey kids, do you want to know how Santa Claus came to existence? And it's like a postman, special delivery SD, and it's like, whoa, we're about to find out. They show old newsreel footage of all black and white footage of kids crying, but like, you better not pout, Santa's watching. It's like, I can't cry ever. Never.
If you cry, you're not deserving of love.
That's what
Bottle
Santa
it
says.
up.
And so he opens up a bunch of mail, which is illegal, and just reads out what the kids want. They're like, we want to know about Santa. And so first off, it begins with a baby named Claus on the doorstep of Meisterburger Town.
Say that 3 times fast.
Nope. And for some reason, we never establish whose fucking kid this is.
Nope.
Like,
it's
never.
just, well, you know, when they come back to this and they do the multiverse and they start doing like the prequels, we'll get it. But until then, yeah, we got to deal with some anonymity.
And in a future film, it's like, Santa, we had to give you up because you were destined to be a Santa.
You were a Thanos, baby, the whole time.
And so a gust of wind fucking blows the baby away. This gust of wind is so powerful, and the baby's like, ah ha ha hoo hoo.
The world wants this baby fucking dead.
And the Kringles, these little people in the village, like outside of town or whatever, just rename him Chris. And when I first heard, because this film's from the fucking 70s, that they actually called them little people and not a slur, I was like, phew, a 1970s movie that I can watch.
The narrator was like clutching his fists when he was saying that line because he wanted to go into it.
Are you sure?
A lot worse.
I can't say the other word.
You'll notice a big cut in the edit when he's like, and then he was found by these fucking little people.
No, it's clearly someone else's voice where it's like, these fucking little people.
Yeah, it's just patched in at the last second.
And so what's more interesting is that these Kringles just live in the forest, and it's like, can we know more about them? Where they come from? Nope. They have some unique clothing. Like when Santa goes eventually into town, which I know we're skipping hell, but he has like red clothes, and everyone else has dark and depressing clothes. It's like, where are you getting this fabric from? Like, it's
from the trees, from the eldritch tree gods that are there that we don't delve into at all.
And so the Kringles rename him Chris, just stealing him essentially, and they teach him how to make toys, but because of the Winter Warlock, I'm gonna put some like sound effect, like some thunder right here. The Winter Warlock, they just make these toys and throw them outside. How do you feel about that?
I love that there's a Winter Warlock. It's such fucking bullshit because it has nothing to do with Christmas at all.
You sure?
Except to just to tie like 2 things together to like, he's like, okay, this is how he's magic. You could have just said like, you found a magic fucking sleigh or some shit and call it a day. They're like, no, magic warlock. he's evil, and he shoots fucking snow out of his hands, and he has an evil laugh, and he's crooked, and lives in an ice palace. Let's fit that in the movie. Fuck this movie.
It's the Holy Trinity. The Santa Claus, Krampus, and the Winter Warlock. Don't you know about them from German folklore?
I didn't, actually. I didn't know the Winter Warlock was a pre-existing character in this mythos.
Just like Burgermeister Meisterburger is an allegory for Hitler.
Yeah?
Just, like, they don't specify the year this happened, but it's like, that's World War I, World War II.
Yeah, you know what? I'm starting to think, if they were to put this back, if this is supposed to take place, like, years ago, which, by the way, I'm gonna just say it right now, this Santa shit was recent, because, like, this is in the 70s, and the film's, like, if that's supposed to be, like, Hitler, it's, like, the 40s, so, like, I think I can understand, like, from the Great Depression backwards, there was just nothing.
Yeah.
You just got dick. You got ass. You got nothing.
Well, maybe it's like 1800s or something, because I don't think they have electricity, which would have been like commonplace at the time. So maybe they have candles. So maybe it's 17th century, 18th century.
Maybe it's 1738.
Maybe that. But Chris is like, I want to give these toys to the town called Somber Town, and it's like, come on, dude, come on. Who let them name this town? It's like going to New Jersey and going to Shittyville.
Well, that's just par for the course.
It's like, come on, man. Like, who would really want to live here for that long? It's like, we live in Depressingville.
It's probably the town naming Warlock.
And so Chris arrives and bestows toys for the children, but apparently,
yay,
the Burgermeister Meisterburger fucking hates toys. He just hates that shit.
He's just an ass. I mean, if you were born into a world where your name is Burgermeister,
yeah,
and like I would fucking hate toys. I would hate everything that any enjoyment in anyone. I would fucking be pissed.
Now, when I first heard that he made that decree, I mean, this is not the first time I watched this film, but like when I first heard it again, I'm like, did this take place in Europe? Why they just decapitate him or kill him? It's like one step too far, you know?
I would love to see in that animation style a fucking guillotine decapitation of Burgermeister.
Yeah, they'd have to use like paper or something for the blood. That's what they did for the fire.
It'd be somehow like really, really like detailed and realistic for the time period.
And so when he's
like,
yeah,
like if the decapitation scene would just be like such much better animated than the rest of the movie.
It won visual effects awards for the most gory blood in a film, but also
like live footage.
I'm actually reading here. It won an award for the most innovation in blood physics in TV and television film.
That's insane. It's incredible, guys. Don't look that up. That's real.
That's real. And so when he gives to children the toys, a woman appears, whom all the kids say like, "Oh no, it's our teacher who is hot and single and has no man." Watch out for her.
Chris, you better be taking notes, man. You better hear this.
You better hear this. She's single. She's also a redhead, like Chris.
And her eyes are really fucking weird.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Really weird.
Just very goddamn weird. So Miss Jessica is like, hey, can you not do that? Because if you give our kids toys, they'll get executed. And he's like, no, it's fine.
Fucking Mickey Rooney's just like, let the kids die. Fuck them.
Fuck him. And then Meisterburger orders him to be arrested, but he fucking parkours out of there. Like, they establish being raised in the woods, he can jump like a squirrel, fly like a reindeer, some shit like that. And it's like,
you know, classic Santa abilities. It's on his superhero wiki.
And that's how the French invented parkour. They saw Santa Claus do that. They're like, that's cool.
Wow.
And so over the next night, they're like, okay, we'll leave the doors open at night and we'll give you toys. And Burgermeister's like, don't do that. Literally outside of the toys, that's dangerous. Why would you do that to yourself?
You know what? Thinking about it, this guy comes into a town, like this foreign guy, just starts giving out fucking like objects to children that aren't looked at or tested, and then darts out. That's suspect.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, stranger danger. No, I'm with Burgermeister.
Don't you remember the song where it's like, if you want this free toy, you gotta give me a kiss? That was in the movie.
I forgot that. Yeah.
And they kiss him. But luckily...
And they kiss him.
This is in the 1940s, before child rapists exist, so they were fine.
Yeah.
They were good.
No, this is, don't... read the Bible, man. It wasn't that big a deal up until that point.
Yeah.
It's just, it is what it is.
It was like smooth sailing until this guy showed up, and Burgermeister was like, hey, isn't it weird that this guy's in our town giving our kids gifts?
Yeah, the kids, the narrator. So that's why they're a child rapist. That's right, sweetie.
That's right. That's why we lock our doors at night. You didn't do that before.
It's getting late, sir. Let me tell you my story, my boy.
And so Santa says, well, I'll go down the chimney because that's funny. And he's accompanied He's accompanied by his penguin sidekick that's just lost. They never help him, by the way. He just stayed there.
He's gone forever. No, I think the next shot is him like on the wall.
Yeah, it's just fucking dead. And they're like, oh, we still found your shit, boyo. Pay up. But they don't really arrest any kid like they promised they would. But Burgermeister says, okay, we taking your shit. And Chris says, what if we take our shit and put in the stockings? Because they foreshadowed. They're like, we're washing our stockings in this public water. I'm like, why? That's dirty.
This whole movie, by the way, when I was watching it, every time they had scenes like that, I was like, that's where it came from! I pointed at my TV and I yelled, that's what's Christmas! That's what Christmas!
Yeah.
Christmas!
Kind of like the scene where the kids are like, take this, Burgermeister, and they took their candy canes and stabbed him in the chest.
Yeah, like Julius Caesar.
Yeah, they're like, two children.
It's like, yeah, fuck you, Burgermeister.
And so when he goes down the chimney to put some stuff down the stockings, they capture his penguin, and he's like, okay, you got me. I'm arrested now. That was a very good penguin.
Thank you, I've been practicing.
Do it again, I'll put footage over it.
I can't do it again, I can't replicate
it. It's okay, I'll do it the first time and not do the other times. And so Jessica visits the prison, and it's like, boy, I love this man. Boy, I love him. Is there any way I can help him? And she's talking to the Winter Warlock, who is now called Winter. That's his name. And they keep dead naming him. He's like, please, come on, guys.
I'm not the Winter Warlock anymore. I'm Winter.
I'm just Winter.
The Warlock.
And apparently this is kind of like the Ice King, where he stopped being crazy and he lost all his cool powers.
And then there's Marceline that shows up.
Yeah, Marceline shows up in this. And so
in this world,
he just pulls shit out of him, like literal shit. Like they didn't cavity search him or anything. He's like, oh, you got this magic corn that makes reindeer fly. And Jessica's like, fucking.
Because why not? Why just fuck it? Just put it in there. You know, we gotta solve one of these.
And he prays to Jesus. At one point, when Chris and Miss Jessica were getting married, he's like, please, God, please, Jesus, give me a little magic.
Yeah, now the lore is very confusing, especially because, like, magic is, like, a sin in the Bible. So, like, all this so far has been, like, black magic. And then he turns to Jesus for, a homie handout.
Well, maybe because he became nicer, the devil's like, I don't want to work with you anymore. And he goes away. Because Chris and Miss Jessica have to get married in the forest because no church will accept them. And it's like, you checked all of them? All of the churches in your area, all of them.
I don't know. They may start burning them down. Burgermeister might have just started fucking putting a torch to all of them.
That does get into the realm of, we talked about this before, of how Christmassy or how religiously Christmassy a movie is. And there's just weird sprinkles of Jesus in this. Like he's like, praying to God a little bit.
Yeah, they somehow wanted to do both a like fucking magic story, but also like the religious aspects of it, and they don't meld at all.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, the Winter Warlock, but they have one foot in front of the other, so it makes up for it.
Oh yeah, so he gives the corns to the reindeer and they fly, and that kind of just ramps up the story. Chris grows a beard, returns to his Claus name because he's still on the run. They travel to the North Pole, make a big old workshop. I guess anyone could just done that or whatever. Burgermeister just died, and everyone's like, yeah, that's fucking stupid.
That's until the FBI documents come out years later, and there's like a Fidel Castro type assassination attempt on Burgermeister from Santa.
He's the Archduke Ferdinand.
Yeah, there's no way that he died of natural causes. Santa fucking he got his sniper outside his window, like American Sniper, just fucking popped him right there.
And apparently Santa was just giving kids toys like every night or something, because he's like, I'm getting too old. I just want to do it one night a year. And it's like, how were you working those elves to death? Every night? Every other night?
Yeah, when the credits roll and they zoom out of the fucking Santa house, you see like 3-4 different tombstones outside.
And they choose one night, and that being Christmas Eve when he gives the gifts, and everyone celebrates on Christmas Day. And so now in this canon, Jesus and God exist canonically, okay? Do you think?
Yeah, they're real.
And so do you think Santa asked, he's like, hey Jesus, is it cool if I give kids toys on your birthday? Is that good? I know it's your day, but like, can I do that?
Maybe he was like looking at it like for all the shit Jesus gave him, so just gave him the finger and said, fuck it, my day now.
It's my day. Well, technically Jesus wasn't born in December.
That's right.
Yeah,
he was born not December.
You want a little fun fact to get your mind a wondering?
Yeah, what?
So, it said that Jesus is born, and there's like some shepherds and cool stuff right there. Why would shepherds be herding sheep in the winter?
Uh-oh.
That's a little thing to think about.
Didn't they take the date of Christmas from like 100 different other religions?
Yeah.
Got like special dates on that day.
Yeah, because they had cooler stuff going around that time, so it's like, well, Jesus is cool too. We shall combine the holidays. I know what accent that was. I don't know what fucking
excellent.
But anyway, that's the wonderful story of Santa Claus is coming to town, which is I don't know about the name. Maybe like
spelt with with the coming to spell it without the G at the end because it's hip and cool.
Yeah, even the 70s, he was a coming to town, baby.
Santa's coming. He's coming here, he's coming there, he's coming everywhere.
He's coming everywhere.
Just everywhere. It's a winter, it's a white Christmas. He's coming everywhere.
In the end, it's just the cute little story going like, hey kids, here's what happened.
It's like not even an hour. You could watch it in like 40 minutes.
51 minutes. Speedrun it.
Fuck you.
Can you speedrun this movie?
I could if I wanted to, but now I don't want to.
You know what movie we can't speedrun?
What?
The fucking movie you recommended me.
Yeah, so my turn. He picked me a sweet and short film that you can pull on YouTube. I gave him It's a Wonderful Life.
The suicide film.
The suicide film. Have you ever seen fucking like a cartoon like Fairly Odd Parents, and they have an episode where it's like, man, I wish I could see the world if I was never born.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but in a 2-hour film, and it's not even the largest part of the film.
It's like the end 10 minutes or something.
It's the end 10 minutes, the part that everyone remembers. It's like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
and it's the best Christmas movie ever.
They could have cut this shit down to an hour
No,
and a half.
no.
Yes, they could have.
No. And I'm not biased saying that it's my favorite movie of all time. I'm just saying.
All time. I thought it was The Godfather, then 8 Crazy Nights. In that order.
You are a dead man. I promise you that.
I didn't want to leak your list. He told me not to leak the list of his favorite films of all time.
Depends what list you're talking about. But anyways, guys.
Yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life follows the story.
Yeah.
Of George Bailey.
George
Bailey, played by Jimmy Stewart, a World War II veteran, before you start talking shit.
IRL, by the way. We're not saying his character is a World War II veteran, but he and the actor is the veteran.
He is, and actually, this is his first movie coming back from the war. He didn't even know for sure if he'd be able to act after the war. He was so shell-shocked. Yeah. Or, like, he still had a lot going on. Which, by the way, apparently he was really fucking good at doing war.
Yeah.
He was, like, a decorated pilot.
He killed so many people.
Watch it when you watch this movie. Remember, there are people whose families will never see them again because George Bailey killed them.
Yeah, because that guy is like, wait a second, was that the guy who killed my dad?
That's him.
He was so good at war. That's why he didn't think about coming back to film, because he's like, is there another one? Can I go to another war?
He was getting ready. This was just like in between.
Waiting for World War III. He's like, I'll come back.
The long story short, A Wonderful Life follows George Bailey because he's going through life wanting to do bigger things. He wants to leave his small town of
Bedford Falls. I wrote it and read it right here.
Bedford Falls,
New York.
Bedford Falls.
It's Bedford Falls, New York. That's in your neck of the woods. Not really. I don't know where you live actually.
That's right. He wants to leave somewhere near there.
Somewhere.
He wants to leave Bedford Falls, but in every turn he ends up having to sacrifice his own well-being for those. Be it sending his brother to college, letting his brother get married, staying at his father's business.
I think it's mostly like everyone forces shit upon him and he just says, okay, fine, I guess. Fuck my dreams.
Well, it's kind of like that because like he gives up his college. What is it? His father runs a bank. We gotta go
at the very beginning.
We're doing the whole thing.
We're doing the whole fucking thing.
We're doing the whole thing. All right, guys, buckle in. This is gonna be an adventure.
A guardian angel.
Right it.
Go on.
Yeah. I know you start.
Oh yeah. I want to preface this. This is a supernatural Christmas film, which is weird to say. A supernatural Christmas film. At the very start, these 3 galaxies come together, and it's supposed to be like God and his best friend God 2 talking to an angel, and it's like, you don't got your wings yet because you're so stupid. But maybe if you do this, you'll be not stupid and have your wings. And he's like, jeez, Collie, what do I got to do?
Oh, I hope so.
And it's like, we're gonna watch this kid's entire life, and he's like, you can't just give me the backstory and I can just help him right now. He's like, no, you're gonna
just give me the Spark notes, please.
So at the age of 12, he rescues his younger brother from drowning, and he somehow becomes deaf in his left ear.
He dives in, and the water gets to his ear, fucks him up, so he's deaf now. And this is like the first sign of his character. He's willing to sacrifice things of himself to help others.
Literally no one else did. There's like 12 other kids.
Everyone just said, fuck him. Just fuck him.
I mean, there was clearly a patch of water. Like, I saw it. Why didn't anyone else see it? They're like, hey, don't go over there. There's a patch of water. But his brother Harry's like, I'm so stupid. I'm gonna drown.
See, if it were me, I would have shot one of those Fortnite plunger guns and, reeled him out. So, my left ear would have been fine. And it's my only ear anyways, as you can see on the screen. This is all I got.
And so while working at the pharmacy, well, he's still 12, by the way. That's just a thing he does. This is at a time when he can buy ice cream at pharmacies, because pharmacies are fucking cool, dude.
Hell yeah.
And I think he was making soda the old-fashioned way, where you had to like mix the seltzer and the syrup together or whatever. Have you ever tried that?
Yeah, it's the best.
And so his Mr. Gower, the pharmacist, is like, my son is dead. I am drunk at work right now. And he accidentally tries to poison his customer by putting the wrong pills in. And George is like, oh, don't do that. And so Mr. Gower said, shut up, kid, and smacks him in the fucking ear, the one that doesn't work.
He just keeps slapping the shit out of him, and then eventually like realizes his mistake and gets down in tears and just like thanks the guy.
Yeah.
And fucking George is like, you slapped the shit out of me, dude.
I'm gonna remember that forever. And that's how candy canes became a Christmas classic.
And that's how reindeers could fly.
And so in 1928, we're skipping a few years, by the way, nothing happened between.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, the Guardian Angels, as I noticed, stopped talking for a bit.
Yeah, they kind of just take a backseat. We get to see an adult George Bailey, finally played by Jimmy Stewart. And he's like, oh, I want a suitcase this fucking big. And he like puts his arms all the way out. And the guy's like, George, we do not have that. It does not exist.
Why would that exist?
It's not a suitcase that exists, George. What would you even put in it? What would you even put? He's like, oh, jeez, I don't know.
And Jimmy Stewart's supposed to be like 18, 19 or something.
Yeah.
But also
yeah. He's supposed to be a kid. He's supposed to be fucking fresh out of high school. It's really weird.
People back then just looked older, so it was fine.
They do good with the makeup when it comes to like making him look older, but they just did not give a fuck about making him look younger. They just said, put him in like a sweatshirt and call it a day.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, is that him like now? And the Angel's like, that's him at 18.
It's like, okay.
It's like, this guy's got other problems going on.
So his brother... So his brother has a school dance, and he's like, he decides, fuck it, I'll go. And that's where he bumps into Donna Reed playing Mary. Mary.
Yeah.
And Mary is like this fucking girl that
wants to fuck him.
Was actually, let's be real. She wants to fuck him.
The shit out of her.
And fucking, they go to the dance. They have this cute little scene. This douchebag.
You gotta specify what happens at the dance, like the pool shit. That's weird to me.
Yeah. So this fucking dickhead wants to dance with Mary, but obviously can't fucking stand up to the 30-year-old guy at the dance. Yeah, the guy is clearly too old to be here. He's like, I'm not gonna fight that guy. So this other kid's like, hey, I have these keys that open up the pool where the school dance is. You want to fucking potentially drown this guy? And he's like, yeah. So he does that. The pool starts opening up,
dead.
And we get
He's dead. Jimmy died.
Oh, we're never gonna.
That was actually the end of the film. He died at the pool.
I was getting to that, but yeah, he just dies. He actually drowns in the pool. It's a really weird scene because then they just hold the camera there for like an hour.
Yeah, that's his live death on screen.
It's insane.
And this is the second instance in which he falls in the water in the film.
Yeah, it's not even the first. This is like this happens like I think 4 times.
Yeah,
3 more times after this.
This keeps happening.
So they have this cute little dance, and then him and Mary leave, and they're drying off. They're walking home.
You didn't mention the specific part. The pool.
Oh, the dance?
The pool was under the fucking floor. Like they pulled a switch and the floor opened, and I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? We could do that?
That's actually not that uncommon. My old school, my high school had one of those.
Oh my god, that was so innovative for the 40s. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah, for like gymnasiums, you would open it up and like a swimming pool would be underneath. It's not very common now, but it exists.
A regular high school, not even a preppy one. I was like, you can afford this?
Dude, that fucking World War I money was real.
And so, as you were saying, it's after the dance.
So him and Mary are walking around, and they see a house, this old broken up piece of shit house, and they're like, fuck this house, man. I'm gonna throw rocks at the window because that's supposed to grant me a wish. And Mary fucking closes her eyes, and on the first try, Donna Reed, who apparently played fucking softball, tosses it right through the fucking window. They had a guy in the building ready to smash the glass, and she just fucking slammed it right. She bullseyed that shit right in.
She needs to be in the baseball team. What is she acting for?
Money?
Yeah, why not?
I mean,
you can get money from being a baseball player.
Yeah,
do both actually.
But, so you do that to make a wish. George, being a dumbass, wishes for $1 million, and then Donna Mary wishes for something that she won't tell him, and then she gets nude.
Yeah, we had to establish that after they did the water stuff, I guess she just decided no bra or panties or even shorts or whatever, and she's in a robe.
Nope.
And George Bailey is in like some sort of old football uniform, and it's like you couldn't draw off any of her clothes at all. None of it.
And they're not even carrying it.
Yeah. And he says, well, I got a particular situation on my hands. What if people pay me to see her pussy?
I gotta think about this. It's like the 1920s in this part of the movie. I can get away with a lot.
And so his dad died. Not because of that, but he just... He just
that
dies.
fucking the fucking date rapey vibe is immediately cut off by his dad's death.
Yeah.
And immediately what happens is, from this point before this, George is talking about he wants to live the big life. He wants to get out there. And his dad doesn't want him to work at the bank that he works at. You see, the Baileys own a, what's the right term for it? It's just like a bank. They give out a lot of loans for people in the town. Yeah. Because besides them, the only other big bank is owned by this big son of a bitch.
Henry Potter.
Mr. Henry Potter.
Which is very close to some other name.
It's hard not to think of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. Let's just say that now.
It's very funny.
Henry Potter, this big fuck, owns like every other facet of this town, and he wants this guy dead anyways. He wants to buy up this bank because then that's it. He owns all the loans. He owns all the central banking. He owns everything. And I mean, George,
it's not like he would have been fucked in the ass when it came to like monopolization from Franklin D. Roosevelt or whatever. And he would have been like, hey, wait a second, does this guy own this town? Let's kill him.
No. Potter owns the president.
Oh, he does.
This is established in the comics.
There are comics of this.
No, but
maybe there is. We have to.
There should be.
If there's comics, I'll put it on screen.
Hell yeah. He's like, I'm gonna buy this shit up. Fuck, and I'll see you around. George is like, oh, all right. But then he's like, wait a second. If I leave, then they're gonna fucking steamroll this town. Mm-hmm. So he puts his fucking dreams of grandeur aside and decides he's gonna stay here and run that bank at least until his younger brother. Yeah.
So Henry Potter offered him a job that would have been about $20,000 a year. So do you want to know how much money he would have gotten today's money if he accepted that job offer?
It wouldn't be over $300,000, would it?
It would be over $354,000.
What the fuck?
So George is a fucking idiot.
That's an insane amount. Why would he actually not agree to that, George?
But also, how much money does Potter have? It's like, god damn, dude, that's a lot of money, boy.
He's got those. He's got that Hogwarts money.
Yeah. So anyway, he says, I'm just gonna take care of the savings bank loan until my younger brother comes home from college.
And then he's like, forgot to give context. George is gonna go to college.
Yeah.
George was about to, but instead he gave those college funds to his brother and said, listen, here's the deal. You go to school. I'll keep the fort down. You get back, and we'll be good. So long as you don't get a wife and go to war.
World War II happened.
So long as neither of those two things happen, we're hunky-dory, says George Bailey. And his brother's like, okay.
Yippee!
Sounds good, George.
I go to college.
Oh boy!
You get to stay here and be sad.
He's played by Walt Disney in this movie, actually. By the way, I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, he just does that voice. It's like I don't know why he's doing that voice.
Very weird. But then we get another time skip. Now it's been a couple of years, and he's waiting at the train station for his dumbass brother. He's like, get that motherfucker over here.
And he's winning the Medal of Honor for killing a kamikaze person who was about to attack his troop. That's a canon.
Just throw
event.
that in.
Remember
this guy
that.
is canon event. This man has killed.
This hitman is killed. They're like, yay, you killed this guy.
Yippee!
On the other side of the world, the family's like, where's our dad?
He comes back with his fucking wife, who he married during college in 4 years. Met this girl and then married her.
That was normal for the 20s.
Just happened. And George is looking at this and he's like, you got to go to college. You got to travel the world. You got to marry a girl. By the way, he hasn't been with Mary since that happened. He had to drop all of that to focus on the bank.
So now George is married, has 3 kids in that time, and he's hunkered down in Bedford Falls. Like, he doesn't even bother moving or anything, or even moving to the savings building. He's like, I guess I'm stuck here forever. Fuck.
Wait, hold on. What are you talking about? When did he have kids? That's way later.
That's where we're at.
We're skipping the whole middle part?
No, because on Christmas Eve, 1945, they welcome home Harry. We talked about
that. They welcome back home, but George doesn't have kids.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't. George gets... Okay, guys, watch this. I'm about to fucking destroy it, Ryan.
Oh, fuck. God
so,
damn.
he gets his brother, then his brother comes back, then he goes to meet with Mary, who's on the phone with that dumbass, then they get together, then there's the recession, then they start building houses in the town, then he has kids.
Oh, yeah, there was that scene where his uncle misplaces $8,000.
That's still way later in the film! You were skipping it.
That was around this time.
No, it is not. You were fast-forwarding through this film watching it. You can't lie to me. You skipped out like half of this film.
I was doing no such thing.
This fucking fraud. This fraudster. I watched your 30-minute film. You can watch my 5-hour epic.
No. Nobody can.
Fair enough. Well,
Okay,
honestly, I'll just explain that part.
Okay.
From the time that he took the building, every turn and crook or nanny or whatever came out a different problem that would keep him stuck in Bedford Falls to the point where he just became, he's like, fuck it. If I'm doing this, I'm going in as a hero. He starts funding the town left and right. He builds a whole neighborhood, the Bailey neighborhood or whatever. He builds houses for every person there. Gives funds to anyone who needs it. Then he marries Mary.
Yeah.
And guess where they move in? Because they're dirt fucking broke. They move in
to the shitty house.
No, wait. They move into the shitty house.
Yeah.
During the recession, by the way. Because we get to see the stock crash.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, we're broke as shit. I guess we're going to have to go to Potter because, the Bailey Bank has no money. And George Bailey's like, here's my money.
He's like, your money's in that person's house and that person's house. And they said, why is my money in their house?
So he starts fucking handing out all the money that was meant for his honeymoon.
Yeah.
He fucking goes band to band with everyone there. Every member of the fucking town is saved from George just to make it to the end of the stock issues. He's still making the most of his life. This piece of shit house. He has 3 kids now. Or is it 4? Is it 3 or 4?
Well, you say piece of shit house or whatever. He's got like a 2-story house. He's got 3
he's
kids.
got a mansion.
He's got like a loving wife. Like I saw his house and I was like, you okay, dude? That sounds pretty good.
Well, that's actually part of the theme of the movies because what happens is, I think we'll just keep a note in that, keep a note in that. So everything's going hunky-dory, and then his uncle, fucking Uncle Billy, who helps him with the bank, is supposed to deposit a check for taxes.
Yeah.
And he accidentally drops it. Yeah, he drops the thing. Potter finds it, fucking snags that shit up, and then when the tax money comes around, Uncle Billy realizes he doesn't have it. And George is like, wait, so what does that mean for us? He's like, oh, well, you're fucked. You're probably going to go to jail.
Oh.
Because we have no money.
Oh, wait, I got to establish this. Because $8,000 doesn't sound like a lot of money. Do you want to know how much it is in today's money?
How much?
$141,000.
Yeah, that would explain the scene when he fucking starts shaking Billy around at his goofy ass house.
Yeah.
Where's the money? Where's the money, old man?
How do you even lose that amount of money? It's like, oh my god, that's just a lot. He left it in a newspaper.
Yeah, he's stupid. And then he goes to Mr. Potter and he's like, dude, you gotta give me some money here or I'm fucked. And he's like, no, I don't like you.
You were very mean to me at every stage of my life. By the way, Potter has just been existing this whole time. I think he's like 200.
Yeah, he's in his fucking wheelchair and blanket, and he's still around somehow. And so like George fucking loses his mind. They're sending the police after him now. And so George goes back to his family. He has this whole freak out because he realizes his whole life's over, but he doesn't have the heart to tell him. And his family's going through it, and there's everyone just freaking the fuck out. His daughter's on the phone with the teacher. He goes on the phone, he yells at the teacher,
like,
says, "Fuck you!
Bitch. My kids are stupid because of you.
You sent my daughter home without a jacket, you fucking bitch!" And then she just starts crying. He hangs up the phone. He's like, fuck this. I'm going to the bar. It's the 30s. I'm going to drink this shit out of my... 40s, I'm going to die of liver damage. 40s. Very
sorry. Because World War II just happened.
Yeah. So he goes to the bar, has a drink. By the way, I want to point out, if you watch the movie, there's a scene where he's praying to God in there. He's like, I'm not a praying man, this and that. He starts tearing up. He wasn't supposed to cry. James Stewart just started having, some PTSD on the set. It started bawling.
What's noticeable about that footage is the director, Frank Coppola or whatever, blew up the footage. He zoomed it in a bit more, which is why it's a bit grainier than the rest of it. Because he really liked the performance.
Yeah.
Frank Capra. Frank Capra's the guy who directed it. I just want to be sure everyone knows
Capra
that.
is a
Capra.
Frank Coppola. Capra. He does... It's a fantastic scene.
Oh, I thought you were saying he does It's a Fantastic Life, the sequel to this film.
It's a Wonderful Life scene.
Yeah.
And everyone's trying to cheer him up because the whole town loves him. And then the teacher's husband walks in. He's like, is that George Bailey? Yeah. And then just decks the fuck out of him.
You made my wife cry. That's very mean.
And George is like, oh, no, I'm Jimmy Stewart. No.
And the guardian angel is like, well, my time to shine.
Exactly. Fucking George drives a car into a tree, drunk as shit, leaves the car, goes to a bridge, and he's like, fuck this, I'm out.
You gotta
he's
do it
getting
in his voice.
ready.
You have to do it in his voice.
Fuck this, I'm jumping, I'm doing the Kermit the Frog gif, I'm doing it right
Charleston
now.
Under the bridge.
I'm gonna die, goodbye everybody. And then before he can,
who
comes crashing down but the fucking angel himself, Clarence.
The angel's like, well, I tried killing myself because I knew you would save me. And he's like, oh, you got me, you tricked me. And then George jumps in.
Right. George dives in, which is, again, this is the third time now that he's dived in the water.
Yeah.
He dives in, grabs the angel, brings him out to dry, and like we see Clarence is wearing all this goofy ass like fucking clothes. And then he's like, why'd you jump in? He's like, well, I knew you would save me, George.
And he's like, well, it looks like my Mark Twain novel is still here. I can't wait to read his new book.
It's the one where he says the N-word.
This time he writes it 150 times.
Well, all right.
And he's like, I guess. I'm a guardian angel. And the lighthouse keeper or whatever who's in with them is like, oh, okay. I guess that guy's an angel.
Falls from his fucking tree, from his chair and shit. He leaves, and then...
And this is the pivotal
scene.
Yep,
this is it. This is when, you know, the whole point of the film that you were thinking about, this is actually when it happens. An hour and a half in.
I know, hour and 40 minutes in.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and George is like, I wish I was never born. I was never... And Clarence is like, bitch, are you for real? Okay. And then he snaps his fingers like a Thanos and is like, okay, leave. Go see what happened.
First thing George notices is that the blood from when he got punched in the face is gone.
Yeah.
His clothes are all dry.
His erection is gone.
He goes back to find his car, and the car is not there. And the tree is fucking standing still.
Yeah, the guy's like, there's many trees in Pottersville. Why?
You mean Bedford Fall?
Sure, you drunk. And for some reason, this one guy's life changed this whole entire town. Like, these stupid idiots couldn't do anything for themselves. That this one guy being gone fucked over the whole town.
Nope, just completely fucking gone.
Fucked. There's like a bunch of gambling places. There's a lot of hookers, which is...
Strip bars everywhere. Everyone's a fucking freak. He goes back to the bar. Of course, no one recognizes him. He's still connecting the dots.
Yeah.
And then we get a little moment where Clarence hears a bell, and this is actually a famous scene as well.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, well, every time a bell rings, an angel got his wings.
I would just ring the fuck out of bells and be like, come on.
Yeah,
angels.
I don't know. Like, wouldn't it go crazy if George just started fucking going hammer on the wings, and then Clarence just start flying out?
Yeah, he's like, oh, thank you, I guess. I mean, fuck it, sure. Or George tells the whole town to ring bells just so every angel in heaven just gets their wings.
God, hell, the fucking bartender does that as they're leaving. He's like, look, I'm giving out wings. To start going ham on the bell.
Clarence gets it and he's like, oh, goodbye, George. I guess I got my wings early.
The first sign of the band to come is the pharmacy keeper, pharmacy owner from the beginning walks in, and he gets fucking tossed around and bullied, and George is fucking confused. He's like, why are you doing that? He's like, well, that fucking freak put poison in a kid's medicine and killed him. He's a fucking freak, and if you're friends with him, it wasn't... I love the way the bartender talks too. Listen, Bubba, if you're a friend of his, you're not a friend of mine. It's like, all right, dude.
Get out of here. Stop calling this place martinis.
This ain't martinis, friend, and another thing. I don't know the other thing, but get out of here.
By the way, this town sells cocaine if you want any.
That's also important. And then they toss his ass out. George is like all fucking frazzled and confused, and then Clarence is like, you moron, come on, man.
I told you.
Catch on by now.
But like, really, Mr. Gower didn't hire anyone else?
Nope.
Nobody else that couldn't have helped him? Not even Mary? Something?
Nope. I'm sure Mary actually probably knew. She probably would be a freak like that.
She's like, I hated that kid. I'm glad he's dead. Glad that kid's just...
Yeah.
So he goes to his mom's house, and she's like, I don't know you. And also, Uncle Billy was institutionalized after his fucking business sucked.
Yep, because Uncle Billy's a complete dumbass. So then George is freaking out. He realizes everyone he thought was alive is not. He goes to check on his fucking, I think, what is it? He goes to see his brother.
Yeah, but it's a grave.
Yes, because he never saved his younger brother from the water. He drowned.
Which means nobody saved him.
Yeah, and those people that died, and those people in World War II, when he saved them from the kamikaze pilot, well, he wasn't there either, so those people died as well.
Even though, because it was a war, some other guy would be enlisted in the platoon, and they probably would have saved him.
Nope. It only could have been George Bailey's brother. It only could have been him. But also, now you're thinking about why he was called Pottersville. Because he wasn't around, and because his brother wasn't around when his dad died.
Got super into Harry Potter.
That too. Everyone got really into Harry Potter. Also, Potter bought everything. So he owns everything. And because Potter owns it, it becomes Evil World.
Yeah, and his wife, Mary, is a librarian?
Yeah, that's actually fucking hilarious. Is that they try to make it a bad thing that she's like, she never married. It's like, okay, she got an nice job. Seems happy.
Yeah, she seems like really nobody else in town. You didn't like any of them.
But like even then, just like she's chilling. I mean, it sucks, but all right. I mean, she's
in the cutscene, she's like, my wife is like, I'm not your wife. Also, I like women. She's a lesbian. You see why they had to cut that scene out.
And now Bert and Ernie are chasing this fucker around because he's trying to make sense of everything. And he realizes, like I said, guys, I hope you kept the note in what I said. When Ryan mentioned his whole life's really good.
Yeah.
He comes to that realization. He realizes that his life was actually pretty good.
And a key scene right here, very key scene, when George says, Bert and Ernie, you're at my marriage or whatever. You know, cool fact about that?
What?
In the Sesame Street Elmo Saves Christmas or whatever, Bert and Ernie are walking past some TVs, and it plays that movie at that very scene. And Bert and Ernie is looking at each other. Yeah. It's very funny.
That's fucking... Yeah. I never knew that. That's actually pretty funny. I always wondered if they'd acknowledge that.
And they did. It's canon.
All right.
Oh.
All right, Bert. I guess we were there.
I guess.
Oh wait, I'm Ernie. You're Bert. Wait, all right.
It doesn't matter. So he says, please, God, I want to be alive.
I want to live again. I want to live again.
But not before asking his guardian angel, hey, why weren't you there when my brother drowned? Why weren't you there when my dad died? Why weren't you there when all these things happened? And he's like, I gotta go.
He's like, goodbye.
Bye. Yeah, the idea of a guardian angel is like, I'll only show up if you try and kill yourself. Any other time, you got this, boy.
Yep. So just remember that, guys. If you ever want to meet your guardian, no. I'm kidding.
No.
So he wishes on a star. A police officer comes around and he recognizes him.
Yeah.
George checks his nose. The blood's there. Now he has his fucking Ebenezer Scrooge running through the town moment. Yeah. Where he's just celebrating life. Merry Christmas!
It's like, yay! And then he kills Potter.
I love that though. He runs through that scene. Merry Christmas, Potter! And Potter's like, yeah. He's like, fuck that guy. Fuck you, George. And then he actually dies. He's like,
thank you, Clarence. Clarence winks
just
at
kills
him.
Clarence fucking throw. Clarence has a brick at him like SpongeBob.
And so he goes home, and there are people waiting to arrest him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, arrest me! I'm happy."
But, and this is the best scene in the movie.
Yeah,
he's in debt for all the money he owes.
$141,000.
Yep. And then one by one, members of the town barge in because they heard the news, and they come to donate to it.
Yeah.
And they bring money here, there, everywhere. Everyone that he ever talked to, everyone that he helped out in his life, has come back tenfold.
Yeah.
And it tells you that there's fortune in good fortune.
And that the town just had $8,000 amongst them. That's like a lot of money back then.
And and then all of them went broke immediately after.
Because that's when the second recession happened.
And then the atom bomb dropped.
And so George, right here, George's youngest daughter, Zuzu, which never mentioned any of their names, is like, every time the bell rings, an angel gets his wings. That's what my teacher said. And George looks up and says, good for you, you fucker.
I hate your teacher. And then the guy comes back, are you George Bailey? He's like, yeah. And then he punches him right across the face again. And then George is like, I gotta kill myself again. I gotta fix this. Hold on.
He says, attaboy, Clarence. And the movie ends.
Hark the herald angels
honestly,
sings.
Like only about 30 minutes of the film is actually Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the film is just building up to the end. But and I really don't know why, but I can't help but just watch it from beginning to end every Christmas. It's my favorite movie of all time. It's such a good film.
And do you want to know some cool facts about it?
Yeah, sure. I can go bam for bam too. Let's do this.
It was fucking released December 20th.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, it's like it failed at the box office. Fucking, I wonder why.
And like we were talking about earlier, the only reason that this movie became a Christmas classic, quote unquote, is because they forgot to rebuy the copyrights to this.
The copyright, yeah.
Yeah, so all these fucking TV studios are like, wait a minute, we can air this fucker for free.
Yeah.
And it fills out like 2 hours, 3 hours of time slots.
Because when it first came out, people really didn't like it. They're like, this is whatever. And what's even stupider about the release, I'm reading right here, it was a limited release December 20th, and then they had a wide release January 7th.
Wow.
This had the stupidest release time.
That's so dumb.
Once release a Christmas movie in fucking January, you fucking idiots.
Kind of fucking bomb there.
Yeah.
But after a while of just spamming the movie and all of these channels, eventually people started watching it and realized it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. And it was based on the book The Greatest Gift by Philip Van Dornstern. And that book was so fucking good, like about a year later they filmed it.
Which is insane. This whole film was just... There's a lot of drama when it comes to the rights of making this movie, though, if I remember correctly. A lot of battles.
But we're not going to battle.
What?
The questions, because we got questions, comments, and we asked people, what's their favorite film? We're first going to be be reading from the YouTube chat. You ready for this?
All right, yeah.
So we got Gray74 Prime 3992, Malcolm in the Middle
back
season
to those
2.
names. What?
I don't think the full season was Christmas based, but I'd be surprised.
I'm not counting that.
Stickboy 2115, Elf, Home Alone, Muppets Christmas Carol, Nativity 1 and 2. Both of them, by the way, they couldn't finish this one nativity scene. There's plenty to choose from, but those are my favorites. Elf became a Christmas classic for 2000s film.
I do love the Muppets Carol. Yeah, it's funny that the Muppets just make like the best versions of adaptations for no reason.
When Ebenezer Scrooge comes out walking in town, they're like, "There goes Mr. Bitch. There goes asshole. There he goes.
There goes Mr. Dickhead. There goes Mr. Ass."
It's like I kind of figured why Ebenezer Scrooge hates these Muppets.
Yeah, I would understand too if I lived in a world with Kermit the Frog and everyone else, and I'm like the one guy that's like regular hype. I would be pissed off.
If I lived in the Muppet world and I wasn't a Muppet, I'd be fucking sad.
That would be a bummer. That's actually a horror movie right there.
Honky Doodle. Tokyo Godfathers is an anime classic.
What?
It's an anime about 3 homeless people who take care of a baby. Like, they found a baby and they take care of it. It's very good. Very nice animation.
I love when they do that.
Homeless people
When homeless
take
people
babies.
do that, yeah.
Okay.
It's really nice of them.
Daniel Santiago. Love this guy. Rudolph is the GOAT. Yeah, I love the scene where Santa's like, "Don't bully him. He's useful."
Don't bully him. He has a deformity that I can use to benefit myself.
He has a deformity I can exploit. Last one, and then we'll get to the Discord.
Okay.
Rhyme Time Town 4804, Frosty the Snowman. Yeah, that was a Rankin and Bass cartoon, not an animation, a cartoon. I mean,
was that made in America too, though?
No, I think that was also another overseas production.
There we go. Of course.
That's how we did it. And now we're gonna read to the Discord questions. If you want to be read in the Discord, you gotta join the Discord and just say hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Malibu PS. Obligatory calling Die Hard a Christmas movie.
Oh, and there's always one.
Honestly,
There's always one.
I would say Die Hard has Christmas as much as It's a Wonderful Life has Christmas. Does that make sense?
No.
You sure?
I wouldn't say that.
Sure.
I'd say the themes. I would say the themes and message of the film, It's a Wonderful Life, fit
Couldn't have happened on
in a
Thanksgiving.
Christmas film. Yeah, while the themes and
'Cause they're
films
thankful.
of Die Hard. Yeah, he's like he yells Merry Christmas.
Happy
okay?
Thanksgiving! Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy
Mr.
Thanksgiving! If he did that, then I'd understand. But he
Happy
said,
Easter!
Merry Christmas!
No, you're right. I just want to be a little funny haha over here. But no, Die Hard just takes place during Christmas. Like, it's not even Christmas, it's a Christmas party.
Yeah.
It's like December 23rd, I think.
Yeah, they're frauds.
Joyful Dante, The Polar Express. They had a lot of S's.
That movie's cool. It was alright.
That's the kind of movie that fucks with you as a kid, because it's like, if I can't hear the bell, does that mean Santa doesn't exist anymore? I can't get free shit from him? Oh my god. What else, like...
Yeah. I always remember hating that one scene when they're like in the elf village or whatever, and it's like just like the fucking music playing over the intercoms.
Yeah, that was fucking creepy as shit.
Yeah, that was like unnecessarily weird. I didn't like that.
Yeah, I think the kid's name was like Protagonist Boy.
Protag, yeah.
Yeah, Protagonist.
Good old Protag.
I would have been like, "Hey Santa, why is most of your town creepy? Seriously, why is it like this? Did you do this on purpose?" And he's like, "Here's your PlayStation 5, kid. Fuck off."
And then he Back to the Future flies in the air.
Last one. Retro Tune Lover 97. I have a few in mind, which are Frosty Snowman, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Home Alone, Elf, or The Year Without Santa Claus.
Ooh,
so good.
The Year Without a Santa Claus. That's a good one.
Yeah, because it was like, what if Santa didn't show up?
Blue Christmas, baby.
What if...
That seems awesome.
He's like, "I'm only celebrating Hanukkah this year." And when the elves are like, "Since when? Whenever you ever celebrate this?"
I don't know.
But those are the films. We want to talk about some funny ha-has in the films that we like. Poke fun at it. Have a little goofy ha-ha.
Yeah. A little silly laugh, a little giggle.
And next week, it's gonna be Christmas on Monday, and we're going to be talking about what we did, what we ate, what we drank,
who we killed,
who we kissed. Was it Santa?
Ooh.
I saw JJ kissing Santa. Ooh. That song, I saw Mommy kissing Santa. It's like, dude, that guy's married. Don't do that to him. Don't make him cheat.
That's an admission of guilt right there. Some kid telling your mom that song. That's not good for a dad.
I mean, think of Mrs. Claus. If Mr. Claus has all this magic, surely she has magic too.
She has like lightning hands.
Magic bullets.
Yeah, Santa gets all the fucking, like, he can tell if you're good or nice. Miss Claus can shoot lightning out of her hands.
God damn. But anyway, that was it for this week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye. You guys
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Yippee.
And whatever else you celebrate.
All of them. Easter. Like this. It's over Easter now. Goodbye.
Keep the change, you filthy guys.
And girls. Everyone's filthy this year.
No.
Bye.
Just the guys.